back to episode 13, 8th/9th weeks of the semester checklist. I just want to offer some tips for you to think about staying motivated. Reward yourself after accomplishing large and small goals. And this is not self-care. Contrary to some popular belief, people want to reward themselves with balance, reward themselves with rest, after they've accomplished a major goal. No, wellness is a part of our everyday. Remember, going back to our ideal schedule, which was episode 5. So what might that look like? That might look like watching your favorite TV show. That may look like getting a treat for yourself. That may look like going somewhere special. Next, we are paying attention to this. You might notice that it's taking you a little bit longer to complete your work, and so you want to plan accordingly. So let's say it used to take you an hour to finish your assignments in between classes. But now in the semester, you're feeling a little bit more fatigued. So it might take you an hour and a half to complete your work. You want to allot that time for yourself and plan accordingly. This next thing, which kind of goes back to what we're talking about for midterm season with facing our grades, we are making peace with reality that you might not complete all of your assignments. Because sometimes we don't have the capacity. I'm not telling you to not complete your assignments. What I'm telling you is, if you have a midterm, 2 papers, a lab, all due in the same week, and even if you've had the best schedule, you have tried to have as much balance as you can, you might not be able to, I'm sure you'll be able to complete all your work, but you might not be able to give it 100%. So that's the other piece. Sometimes there might be some smaller assignments that you might not have the capacity to complete. I'm just being real with y'all. I'm being so transparent with y'all. I've seen it with students. There are times where I've had students struggle, and we've had to work together to figure out what assignments they could forego without hurting their grade, because it gets tough, and it's a tough conversation to have. It's not popular with some of my colleagues in higher ed, but the reality is you just might not have the capacity, not have it, but have it in terms of the energy to do everything at 100% and still rest and still take care of yourself. And so at this point of the semester, you might just need to check in and see, what can you give 100% to? What might you have to give 80% of your energy to? What might you have to give 50% of your energy to? For those assignments that you know you won't be able to give 100% to, even if it doesn't always work out in your favor, because remember, we've introduced ourselves to our professor, we checked in about our progress, and so that is when you also reach out to them and let them know you don't have the capacity to do it all. Now, you have to tread a thin line when you share that, because what you don't want to do, what I've seen students do, is they'll say things like, and I know this is coming from a place of overwhelm. Originally, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I used to take it a little personal. But the more I taught, the more I was like, okay, no, this student is overwhelmed. But I would have students say, like, your paper is due on this day. Well, I have another test due the same week. There might not even be an extension request. Again, we want to be mindful with how we're approaching our faculty, our professors. I think it's a different conversation letting your professor know that you're doing the best you can, but keep them in the loop. Even if you feel like, oh, they're not going to respond in a positive way, you don't know unless you try and reach out. And so again, we're making peace, but the other part is the action to reach out to your faculty member. So what are some actual checklist items? I would encourage you to check your email every day, at least Monday through Friday. We're thinking about registration for the next semester. You want to check to see if you have any holds on your account, any financial holds, any registration holds, any holds. You're also continuing to check in with yourself. We're checking our mood. We're checking how we feel. Checking in. We're continuing to do the work. You're checking your registration date for the next semester, if you haven't already. That's all we have for this episode. As we say here at Boosie Teaches, in a galaxy of learners, Boosie Teaches like soy. I'll see you in the next episode.